decided to attend Senator Larry Craig's funeral. To clarify, I was by no means invited. On the contrary, I only found out when it was because my past experiences with the senator have compelled me to monitor, utilizing any search engine but Bing, his general activities and whereabouts. Thus when I heard he'd gone missing, it was presumed that I was naturally lady. Notwithstanding the disappearance of my beloved Baphomet, I decided that, to cheer myself up, I would attend the funeral of Senator Larry Craig, which would also serve as confirmation he is actually dead, being that I have some difficulties in determining when people are actually dead as exemplified by Bigfoot. To clarify, not the cryptozoological creature of a bobtail with human-like intelligence. That'd be crazy. I never tried to kill that Bigfoot. I mean Bigfoot, the local kingpin around these parts. I have previously tried to kill him and it failed, which caught me off guard once, so I need to investigate and confirm Senator Larry Craig is actually dead. Of course, there's every chance this is all some elaborate trap, so Senator Larry Craig can take my sort of four animal human hybrid nonsense. But I have faith my general comedic aura will carry me. Anyway, the funeral itself is surprisingly well attended, with a greater proportion of handsome men clad in leather chaps openly weeping than one might expect. After making discreet inquiries, I learned that these men were not in fact his grandsons, nor indeed related to him in any capacity, so I can only assume they must have been gym partners of the senator, judging by their well-muscled bodies. I think I recognize a great many of them as having sent me pictures of their buttons during the time I was using Grindr. Regardless, I was quick to circulate amongst the attendees, soon ingratiating myself in amongst members of the senator's family. Naturally, as is customary at funerals, I was quick to grill his wife about Senator Larry Craig's sexual life and activities. As she put it, he spent a great deal of time coming up with excuses to not touch her under any circumstances because he was worried touching a woman would interfere with his ability to connect to the sensual, virile, body of Christ. Therefore, while Senator Larry Craig had a number of children and grandchildren, the former were all adopted. After some more work with my silver tongue, I was able to ingratiate myself into the family well enough as children started to refer to me as daddy exclusively and mention Senator Larry Craig only as that crack guy who was a congressman or whatever. Following some careful wordplay, back and forth dialogue, and outright asking for permission, I was eventually allowed to give a eulogy. Shuffling on the cards, I made my way to the front of the assembled crowd. You're probably thinking to yourself, but Mr. Dr. Professor Reverend Eminem, sir, isn't it disrespectful for some random to give a speech at Congressman Larry Craig's funeral? First off, I'm the father of the deceased children, so have some respect. This is a tough time for us all. Second, I will remind you I am in fact the man of the cloth, as my reverend title implies. Naturally, you weren't there at the time because you were probably busy wasting your life away on your Nintendo or something, but I got ordained some time ago. When I say ordained, I of course mean I slid into the DMs of the Pope in a way only all Sigma males understand, and got myself named Archbishop of the Detroit Archdiocese. While we're talking about it, and by talking I mean I'm struggling to get a word in while you keep nattering about the Pokemons you caught on your Nintendo. I became a doctor because I did a first aid course. My first aid course, I of course mean I was at a course for like half an hour, but I got the gist and would trust myself for more than any so-called surgeon. Sidebar, did you know in the UK surgeons aren't called doctor? Regardless, Mr. is a title I got by growing up, which you may think anyone can do. Sudden infant death syndrome would prove you wrong. I have to him, I missed the title. And then finally, I'm a professor of nuclear science and engineering after earning my PhD from MIT and having secured a 10-year position at the University of the 313. Anyway, I walk up to the front of the assembled crowd and start the address. Now my initial plan was to just tell the world about all the wrongs Congressman Larry Craig had done. But as my mother always used to tell me, if you have nothing nice to say, then don't say it. Example she gave for telling the police about violent beatings I'd received, food I'd been denied, at times I've been locked out of the house and expected to sleep in a dark kennel. That being said, I just know my angel of a mother would have wanted me to focus on the positives here. Therefore, I give a beautiful, heartwarming speech about Baphomet, talking about how much I miss my beloved dog Sheep, all the wonderful times we had and how I wish Baphomet were here to see the turnout at his funeral. Thereafter, one by one, all the attendees that came up and gave beautiful renditions of their experiences with my beloved dog Sheep, all that Baphomet accomplished in the times they had together. Speaker after speaker shared precious memory with Baphomet, and everyone was moved to tears. Also, I guess some crack guy had died or something. All in all, Baphomet's funeral was a moving event, and I'm glad we got to remember him.